board. I'll go in order on the screen. Oh, John's got his hand up. Yep.
I just want to clarify and kind of looking down the list of next steps and what needs to be done for this to move forward. And Mark and I have spoken about this on the phone, and I think I brought it up during one of our last meetings, that the town is and was willing to take ownership of the dam. We just needed to figure out how to finance this, and the idea would be the bond and how the responsibility for payment would be allocated, which was that was a great presentation. Thank you. But in terms of the timing of the ownership, that cannot happen according to passive when we had a last conversation until the new dam was built. And we had already had a conversation with the current owner of the dam about how we would structure, that handoff, and that current owner would allow us to do the necessary construction and pre-construction work. The engineer design is all done. We got the 100% plans submitted by Dubois and King. They've been approved by the state. I mean, if the money was there, they could start right now. We could start putting an RFP out for engineering services. We're right down to the bonding thing. But in terms of the ownership, that would not happen until the new dam is in place. Final as-built plans are engineer stamped as meeting standards, and then we could take ownership, and passive would, that's the VLCT insurance arm, would then cover us. But until in such time as a new dam is constructed that does not have all the risks that Mark just explained to us, we could not take ownership. But that's not a hurdle we can't overcome.
Thank you, John. I agree with most of what you said. The only thing I'd say is that part of what we all have to do is update all of this. I mean, this is 15 years old, and we got to make sure that there's new people. A lot of the new people are really supportive, actually, but I think John's got the general idea.
Okay. Sharon, Rick, Cliff, questions?
I have a couple of questions. So I appreciate all of the work that you guys have done, and the documents were really, really clear. One of the questions that occurred to me as you were, not earlier, but when you were going through the slides, is just confirm that how you envision the cost being borne across town in some formulaic fashion, regardless of which model, one of those or something else, is through property taxes. Plus, Mark, you just mentioned some fundraising by the private group, I assume.
Correct, Sharon. 3 sources. 4, fundraising locally. We think we could raise funds, grants, and and I would add to that something new: earmarks. I mean, we do have just about the most important man in the Senate with us right now, and that's not something to disregard. But assuming that's not a major source, then the rest would be done by an assessment district. And we've identified 3 sources, which would be townwide. It could be sort of concentric rings: the property owners, those within 1,000 feet, and then, and by the way, a number of our most active members are in that second group. And then the third would be the town as a whole.
I appreciate that approach and that recognition that there's tiers of impact. I think just to skip ahead, knowing that Denise is going to wrap us up really quickly, I am not in favor right now of a shared committee, because I think that kind of jumps ahead of where we are as representatives of the town. I certainly would support one of us, maybe John is the right one, to join your group as a liaison from the select board, so that there's select board voice, town perspective, and certainly liaison bringing things back to us. That's where I come down right now.
Something else to consider when you're looking at funding, there's going to be this ARPA money. And there's going to be this long list of things that ARPA money can be used for. So I'll just throw that out there as maybe something that the town could look at from our
We
perspective.
would certainly look into that for you if you would like.
Rick, do you have any comments or questions?
Yeah, I would.
I am going to get things wrapped up here.
Yeah, I'll make it quick. I think I spoke in favor of the dam many, many years ago in the first round of town meeting, just as a citizen. But I mean, like Sharon, I too have concern. You know, I think that, I mean, I'd be nice to really see, yeah, how, you know, the kind of a diminishing role of impact on taxes for people as they move away from it. I mean, this is an important town resource. I have no, I don't argue that at all. It's like number 10 pond, and it's part of what Calais is. And I think it would be nice to see this move forward and, you know, we support this, but doing it in a way that's also fair. I want to make sure that happens as well. And you're right. In this day and age, I'm very concerned with the climate change, the amount of rainfall, these large rainfall events we're getting, the unpredictability. And it's, you know, it's not just the idea that we lose those ponds, but there's a lot huge public safety issue downstream on this thing, you know, the potential damage caused. But, you know, I want to be very, very careful, as John said, as you know, we're elected by the town to protect the interests of the town too, and the liability and everything else on this. So got to be, whatever path forward we choose, we've got to be very careful that this is consistent with the you know, with what our insurers will agree to and so on.
Yep. Is that it, Rick?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, Cliff?
Yeah, I just wanted to thank everyone for the dedication and putting together these excellent presentations. It convinces me that we have some concerned citizenry here that are in a position to help us make this happen. I echo Rick's sentiments and support the project. And I think we have the right group of people to help us get there. So thank you.
So John and I served on the committee back in, what was it, John, 2004 or something. So we do have some historical knowledge. So it might make sense. I know John's really busy in the summertime with haying and all those things. So we could maybe share the role of liaison, if that works for everybody.
That would work for me.
Yeah,
Yep.
that would be great. That would be great.
Okay. All right. So
So
Agreed.
so that's great. Thank you. And I wanted to say what I said before, Denise. I am happy to delegate on behalf of the board the participation in this group and trust you to bring us in when we need to. And in the meantime, spare us.
spare you all the emails.
Yeah, I can't process all that email coming back at me and all the conversation. And I really rely on you to just, you know, crystallize it and digest it for us. So thank you.
Okay,
Executive summary.
we can do
And
that. All right, does that work for the dam group?
Perfectly.
The dam. All
Thank
right.
you, everybody, for that.
Thank you so much for all your work on this. You've done a
Thank
really
you
good
for your
job.
time, guys, and for your consideration. And Sharon, we will not darken your door until we have something very concrete.
Okay.
many others will. So not to worry.
Yeah, we'll make sure we flutter with something else on email.
Definitely.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
We'll be in
everybody.
touch.
Thank you.
All right. Next.